Distinguished honourable guests, ladies and gentlemen, we're now going to be talking about leadership when systems fail. The integrity of leadership and endurance. Please welcome to the lecture Mr. Tajo Amar Beharry, please.
Leadership when systems fail. Distinguished guests, respected leaders, global fellow citizens. The moment I realized I would never be compensated for winning at the highest judicial level, something inside me went silent. Not angry, not explosive, just silent. I served as an international airline pilot for a government-owned airline. In aviation, we learned early that survival depends on layered systems, mechanical redundancy, regulatory oversight, maintenance protocols, reporting structures, human judgment woven through every level. We do not trust luck in aviation. We trust systems. If one layer fails, another protects. That is the philosophy that keeps passengers safe at 35,000 feet. That is how modern civilization convinces itself it is stable. In 1994, while performing my duties on a commercial aircraft, I was exposed to hydraulic fluid under pressure. It hit my eye during active service. At the time, it appeared manageable. You flush it, you continue. I completed my duty. The next day, my retina began to detach. Within days, the damage was confirmed. In aviation, you are trained to assess mechanical failure dispassionately. But when the malfunction is inside your own body, detachment feels different. The injury was not just physical. It quietly altered my professional trajectory. But the injury was only the beginning. What followed was institutional navigation. I did what responsible professionals are told to do. I reported it. I filed it. I trusted the system. The matter ended legal channels. Years passed. Then more years. Then decades. The case climbed through the legal layers until it reached the highest judicial authority available to the Privy Council. And I prevailed. That's that I prevailed. In aviation terms, that should have been the safe landing. But the landing never came. Because rulings require enforcement, and enforcement requires ownership. And ownership inside complex institutions can be dissolved quietly. What I encountered was not loud eruption, it was diffusion. The more layers a system adds, the easier it becomes for responsibility to spread thin. When everyone is responsible, no one fully is. Accountability softens. Ownership blurs. Correction hesitates, years stretch. And one day, after 30 years inside corridors of law and regulation, I was presented with an offer. I accepted. I accepted not because justice had fully arrived, but because I was exhausted. There's a difference between defeat and exhaustion. Defeat breaks you. Exhaustion depletes you. I was not broken. I was tired. Justice should not depend on who can endure the longest. Yet duration became the quiet leverage point. The turning point did not involve dramatic headlines. It involved the construction of identity. I began speaking, not about grievances, but about systems. Integrity is not proven in comfort, it's measured in timeline. But leadership begins precisely where systems stop functioning smoothly. Correction is strength. Silence under pressure is risk. Institutions resist early correction because it appears like a mission. But early correction protects credibility. Delayed correction magnifies exposure. These insights became my rebuilding tools. But here is what keeps me hopeful. I have 4 granddaughters, Kavi, Ami, Liam, and Kay. Kavi, the eldest, was already sitting at home. When I see her there, her small hands that controls designed for giants, I do not see nostalgia. I see continuity. I see the next generation stepping into she trusts those systems, just as I do. And that trust is sacred. The aircraft she flies is more technologically advanced than anything I started on. Remind you, operation is smarter, navigation more precise, data more powerful. But no algorithm replaces integrity. No software compensates for diffuse accountability. No innovation substitutes for leadership courage. When she straps into that cockpit, she's not only trusting engineering, she's trusting maintenance oversight, regulatory enforcement, transparent reporting culture, leadership decisions made before she was born. That is the true way of governance. We do not design systems for ourselves, we design them for those who inherit them. That is why the story is not about compensation, it is about architecture. If leadership means anything, it means ensuring that those who follow us do not have to endure what we normalize. It means correcting structures quietly before the next generation depends on them publicly. It means understanding that justice is not merely a ruling, it is enforcement. Because paper does not protect a cockpit, people do, and people depend on systems. My granddaughter does not know the legal history. She does not need to. She needs to know that when something goes wrong, correction is swift. That oversight is real. That leadership acts before endurance becomes exhaustion. That is why I share the story. Not to reopen the past, but to strengthen the future. Because what happened to me